After a series of massive Israeli strikes on Iranian territory, more and more experts are saying Iran is following the path of Syria, and this is already irreversible. The loss of dominance in the skies, internal repression, growing chaos, and the possible collapse of the regime. Such a scenario could not only change the situation in the Middle East, but also leave Russia without a key partner in the region. Analyst of the organization UANI, or Together Against Nuclear Iran, Kasra Arabi, compared what is happening in Iran with the events in Syria in the 2010s. In his opinion, the Ayatollah regime is entering a phase of Syrianization when a powerful external military force takes control of the airspace and begins targeted destruction of command and infrastructure. Israel has already proven that it can strike anywhere in Iran, and this is becoming the new norm. The Israel Defense Forces (IDF) operate in the skies of the Islamic Republic as freely as they used to over Lebanon and Syria. Now, essentially with impunity, Arabi emphasizes the loss of control in the skies leads to increased control on the ground. Ayatollah Khamenei, like Assad once did, will rely on internal repression and security forces, especially the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. But, as the Syrian experience shows, sooner or later this will not be enough. This is how Assad maintained power until internal decay and international isolation undermined the regime from within. Arabi does not rule out that Khamenei could be overthrown or eliminated even before the current escalation ends. If this does not happen, the country will face a long agony of the regime filled with repression, economic degeneration, and the destruction of the state apparatus. This scenario has already led to the gradual collapse of Syria. Now Iran may repeat the same path. Additional confirmation of the escalation are the words of Donald Trump, which were spoken on the day of the new strikes. "We now have complete and total control over the skies over Iran. They had a lot of defensive equipment, but it does not compare to American technology. No one does it better than the United States," the former president said. This statement not only underlines the alliance between Washington and Tel Aviv on the Iranian issue, but also points to Tehran's waning ability to defend itself. For Russia, the consequences could be strategically devastating. After the fall of the Assad regime in Syria, Iran remained the Kremlin's last close ally in the Middle East. The loss of Tehran, or its transformation into an unstable, isolated state, means the collapse of Russia's entire line in the region. Without Iran, Russia will be left without a support base, without an ally, and without the influence it has spent years building amid its confrontation with the West. Israel's air power, the tacit support of the United States, and the deep vulnerability of Iran's air defenses makes the process of Syrianization of Iran virtually irreversible. And no matter how much the Khamenei regime resists, its time may be numbered.
North Korea will send thousands of military construction workers and deminers to support reconstruction work in Russia's Kursk region, a top Russian official said Tuesday, the latest sign of expanding cooperation between the nations. According to Associated Press, North Korea has already supplied thousands of combat troops and a vast amount of conventional weapons to back Russia's war against Ukraine. In April, Pyongyang and Moscow said that their soldiers fought together to repel a Ukrainian incursion into Russia's Kursk border region. The Ukraine has insisted it still has troops present there. Wrapping up a one-day visit to Pyongyang, Russian Security Council Secretary Sergei Shoigu said that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un decided to send 1,000 sappers to clear mines in the Kursk region and 5,000 military construction workers to restore infrastructure there, according to Russia's state news agency, TASS. Another Russian state news agency, RIA Novosti, carried a similar report. Shoigu said that Moscow and Pyongyang agreed to erect memorials in both countries in honor of North Korean soldiers who died while fighting in the Kursk region, according to TASS and RIA Novosti. North Korea's official Korean Central News Agency said Wednesday that Kim confirmed the contents of North Korea's cooperation with Russia with regard to Kursk's current situation but didn't mention the dispatch of army construction workers and deminers cited by Russian media. KCNA quoted Kim as expressing his resolve to, invariably and unconditionally support, what he called Russian efforts to defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity. Kim has previously made similar comments in support of Russia's war on Ukraine. KCNA also said that Kim and Shoigu approved some plans for conveying along the heroic feats displayed by North Korean troops in operations to liberate the Kursk area, an apparent reference to the memorial construction plan. North Korea and Russia have never disclosed how many North Korean troops have been sent to Russia or how many of them were killed. But according to South Korean, US and Ukraine assessments, about 15,000 North Korean soldiers have been deployed to Russia. South Korea's spy agency said in April that about 600 North Korean soldiers died on the Russia-Ukraine battlefronts. The deepening ties between North Korea and Russia have raised worries among the US, South Korea, and their partners that Russian President Vladimir Putin may in return provide Kim with much-needed sophisticated technologies that can help advance his nuclear and missile programs. The two countries, both in confrontations with the US and its allies, have sharply grown closer to each other in recent years. In 2024, Kim and Putin signed a landmark defense treaty that requires each side to provide aid if the other is attacked. It was Shoigu's third visit to North Korea in about 3 months.
김정은 동지께서는 조선민주주의인민공화국과 러시아 연방 사이의 포괄적인 전략적 동반자 관계에 관한 조약 체결 한도를 시대는 뜻깊은 시기에 평양을 찾은 세르게이 쇼이구 동지를 반갑게 맞이하시고 따뜻한 담화를 나누시었습니다. 경애하는 김정은 동지께 보내는 러시아 연방 대통령 울라지미르비치 푸친 동지의 구두 친서를 쇼이구 동지가 정중히 뜻하는 조로 사이의 포괄적인 전략적 동반자 관계에 관한 조약 체결이 가지는 중대한 의미가 다시금 평가되었으며 최근 몇 주간 두 나라 국가 수반들이 친서 교환을 통하여 합의한 중요 문제들을 이행하는 데서 나서는 당면한 협조 사항들과 전망 계획들이 심도 있게 논의됐습니다.